Mooch, as you look at these games as we head into the weekend, this is likely the last time we're going to see Peyton Manning and Tom Brady playing each other, even though they're on the schedule against each other next year. But on this stage, what's the magnitude of this? I mean, does it mean more than just who gets to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it does. And I was listening to the Bill Belichick comments just before I came on here, and Bill Belichick's a historian, and he mentioned how much respect that he has for Peyton Manning, and he would never underestimate him. And yeah, we don't know if this is Peyton's last season or not. It could be, and I know he'd like to play. Well, I don't know if his body will allow him to play, but what a career! And this matchup between Brady and Manning is the 17th time, and Tom Brady's had the edge, obviously, 11-5. They haven't played as much as Kelly and Marino. They faced each other 21 times.
Did they really?
But yeah,
Wow,
yeah,
I
they
didn't
have
even
the
realize
most,
that.
but not as many significant games like these two. This is the fifth time in the playoffs that Manning and Brady have faced off, and that's the most of any two quarterbacks in the playoffs. They surpassed Brett Favre and Steve Young. But yeah, talk about reverence to both players, and Tom's nearing the end too. He'll he'll probably say he's got 4 or 5 years left, and he may. But I just want Peyton Manning to go riding out on a horse, and and playing well, and playing healthy enough to look like the great Peyton Manning. And boy, that was a great win for him last week. It was a tough win. It was a tough out against the Steelers, but he found a way to do it. Didn't turn the ball over, and was really steady.
Yeah, no question. And his receivers dropped a lot of passes, and
Yeah,
I don't know why that seems to happen, but it does. And is it because it's not coming in like a tight spiral? But every time you see the Broncos, they drop a lot of balls.
Yeah, it's possible. And it was windy too. The ball was moving around some, and it happens sometimes. Heck, they might not drop any this week. We'll see.
I'm talking to Steve Mariucci with us here on Tiki and Tierney, CBS Sports Radio. Mooch, you know the Niners' job very well. Maybe not as well as Jim Harbaugh because the dynamics changed a little bit here, but you certainly know the area. You know the fan base very well. Do you like the hiring of Chip Kelly? You think it makes sense? A good move?
Well, you know what? In a lot of levels, it does make sense. When you think about it, they got to get people back in those seats. Number one, they built this gorgeous Taj Mahal Stadium. It's beautiful. I was just there last night for an event, actually, and people were disgruntled with the direction of the team, losing 6 first-round players of their own first round. Okay, 6 were gone last year, all in once, and it was a mass exodus with players and coaches. And Jim Tomsula really put in a tough spot. Mm-hmm. So anyway, they need to get some kind of high-profile guy. Well, Chip Kelly is a Pac-12 guy. He is a high-profile guy, and I think it'll be a possibility to resurrect Colin Kaepernick's career. His style of offense might be perfect for Cap, and whether if they hired maybe a West Coast offense guy like a Shanahan was involved, or whoever that might be, maybe that's not his kind of quarterback, but Chip Kelly might be able to get a lot out of Colin Kaepernick. Heck, Nick Foles had 27 touchdowns and only 2 picks one season, and so I think it'll create some excitement. I think it'll help resurrect Colin Kaepernick's career. I think they save some money because Chip had some years left over in Philly, which will offset against his contract over here in San Francisco. So financially, it makes sense in a lot of ways. He is experienced. He's not a new kid on the block. And so, Chip did a good job, guys. He was 10-6.
Oh, we say that all the time. No, we always say that, Coach.
His offense had more 400-yard games than anybody in the league over his time there. Mm-hmm. Okay, so he could be explosive at times. A fast tempo, we know that. Put the defense in a bind when they went 3 and out too many times. But I think his demise was when he became the general manager and he was choosing the groceries, and so he made some decisions that were a little controversial. That stirred it up around the league when let some good players go, and they had something to say about it. And I think maybe that's what caused a little angst over there in Philly. He's not going to be calling the shots that way. Trent Baalke will be, and so hopefully they'll see eye to eye on what he needs for that system to work, and find some players. So I think it's an intriguing hire.
Mooch, before we let you go, who's playing in San Francisco? Who's making it? Who's going to advance on Sunday?
Let me see. Let me find a coin. I'm going to flip it and make sure it flips.
Yeah.
I,
By the way, that guy's going to actually be at the Super Bowl, that ref. You see that?
wait a minute.
What's
Is he
that
doing
guy's
the
name?
Super Bowl game?
Yeah. Yeah. What's
You
his name?
think all
Bateman?
eyes will be upon that flip?
Yeah.
What's
It's
that
gonna be
dude's
the
name?
most watched
Bateman?
flip ever. Try to do that. That's hard to do. I mean, you can't make that up.
I
No.
know it.
And so,
Please
in.
David.
right now I'm sort of leaning, and I'm waiting for some injury reports, and then I have the prerogative to change my mind every day, just like you guys do.
Yep.
Sure.
But I'm thinking Carolina,
Mm.
and I'm thinking New England.